In this video, I would like to talk about the causes of acid reflux and why some people might experience anxiety, high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, or even these cold hands and feet. I will give you some ideas which areas that you can start looking at in a more functional perspective. And lastly, how can you improve your stomach acid by making small changes in your diet. Acid reflux is actually a dysfunction of this lower esophagus sphincter, a valve which stays closed when your stomach acid has a pH level between 1 to 3. When your stomach acid becomes more alkaline or less acidic because of low hydrochloric acid, the valve is going to perform less optimally. If you have acid reflux and you visit a primary care provider, you are most likely to be prescribed this proton pump inhibitor. It may help with the initial relief, but it doesn't resolve anything. It didn't change anything, and it will still come back if you're not addressing to the underlying cause of this low stomach acid. I will go through the 7 causes of this low stomach acid. And the first one will be this Helicobacter pylori, or in short, H.Pylori. Have you been tested positive for this H. pylori? H. pylori is a bacteria which can interfere with the production of your hydrochloric acid, and it will thrive when your stomach acid becomes more alkaline. H. pylori can use their tail to burrow the stomach lining and cause inflammation, and it can also infect the upper part of the small intestine, the duodenum. They also produce an enzyme called urease, which further neutralizes our stomach acids. So now you have even lower stomach acids. You have this potential of having this secondary bacterial infection. The second cause for this low stomach acid is the stress. The stress that comes from the environment could be the mold environment, the heavy metals, the PFAS, the carbon monoxides, all these pesticides. And will be some coming from the food we eat, like all these refined carbohydrates, ultra-processed food, vegetable seed oil. All these are stress. So when your body is under stress, you are under this sympathetic nervous state. Under the sympathetic nervous state, your body will not prioritize non-survival activities such as your digestion. Therefore, it will further shut down the productions of hydrochloric acids and other enzymes. The third cause will be this micronutrient deficiency. Without the proper enzymes, now you are low in these minerals like your zinc and B1, because they are cofactors for the productions of hydrochloric acids. And the fourth cause will be the lack of protein in your diet, because gastrin is needed for the stimulation of hydrochloric acids in the parietal cells. It also activates enterochromaffin-like cells to release histamine, which contribute to these acid productions. Number 5 will be hypothyroidism, or an underactive thyroid, which can slow down your metabolism. Slow metabolism is interconnected with digestion. Therefore, the production of your hydrochloric acid may also decrease. Number 6 are all these acid blocking medications such as your proton pump inhibitors, antacids, or some other over-the-counter heartburn medications. When you already have low stomach acids to start with, and when you consume all the medications, it further depletes the hydrochloric acids. And eventually you will progress to a stage called achondria. The last cause for this low stomach acid will be this autoimmune condition, whereby someone might have this AIG, autoimmune gastritis, whereby their own immune system is attacking their own parietal cells, leading to these destructions and reductions of these hydrochloric productions. Why people having acid reflux also experience this high blood pressure, anxiety, or even this irregular heartbeat and cold hands and feet? It gets a little bit complicated because when you are under stress and you do not digest very well, all these minerals and vitamins as listed here, alongside with other essential amino proteins such as your tyrosine, tryptophan, histidine, all these are very crucial for your methylation cycle and other pathways. I will discuss in detail shortly, but basically the pathway, the first in the line will be the folate pathway. When your folate pathway is not running smoothly, it will then cascade and affect other pathways, as in the productions of your S-adenosine methionine, your SAM pathway. And you also interfere with the biopterin, which is all your nitric oxide and neurotransmitters. The SAM cycle actually produces these metal transferase enzymes, which are essential because they need to metabolize all your excess, like your estrogen, your excess dopamine, your excess serotonin. Okay, let's switch to this flow chart which I created weeks ago. You can download a free copy in my description box below. So as you can see here, the folate pathway is heavily affected by all this stress and oxidative stress from the upstream. And I mentioned about this folate pathway is interlinked with this biopterin pathway. And biopterin pathway is responsible for making these nitric oxide and neurotransmitters. So nitric oxide is a very potent vasodilator which will help to relax the inner muscle of your blood vessel. When nitric oxide level is low, you tend to see a rise in your blood pressure. Just imagine your blood vessel is being constricted. You have poor blood circulations, then your blood pressure goes up. As for anxiety, we know that biopterin pathway is responsible for making all your brain chemicals. But right now, let's see at this SAM pathway. SAM-E pathway is responsible for making all your SAM. And your metal transferase enzymes, as stated here, there's actually more than that, but these are the 7 which are very critical. So for example, let's take a look at this COMT. The COMT is essential for the excretion of estrogen and dopamine. But this COMT requires a cofactor SAM to function. So if your SAM pathway is affected, now the COMT enzymes runs even slower. So having too much dopamine left in your system will cause you to have these anxiety issues, the irritability, or even this excessive talking and hyperactivity. Do you see how all this is being interlinked? When you visit a conventional doctor, you may be given the acid blocking medications, then get referred to a heart specialist to specifically look at your heart problem. Then another psychiatrist doctor to look at your anxiety. Let alone all the other side effects from your medications that was prescribed by all your different specialists. If your underlying root cause is not being addressed, all your symptoms can progress even further. So how can you improve your low stomach acid level? Basically, if you follow the flowchart over here, just do everything on the reverse. If you look at nutrition, just remove ultra-processed food. Remove refined carbohydrates. If you have food sensitivity, just remove it. Don't cook your food with vegetable seed oils and remove any food that contains these folic acids. So if you go under these environmental stresses, just try your best to remove them to the lowest level. You do not want to expose yourself every day with the mold, or if you are exposing yourself with all these radiations, it's not doing good to your body. See, all this, you just have to remove all this. The main key is to remove the stress. Stress reduction is the key. When you have low stress, your digestion will kick in. Then when your digestion is working well, then you are able to absorb all these micro and macronutrients. Then these are the stuff that will be the cofactors for all your pathways. And if you want to speed things up, you can actually introduce a supplement called betaine hydrochloride. It can come with or without the enzymes, or even the simpler one will be the apple cider vinegar. You can just drink 1 glass before every meal. If you are consuming this apple cider vinegar, first you have to rule out H.Pylori bacteria. If your H.Pylori bacteria comes with virulence factor, it's best to work with your functional health practitioner. Then over time, you should see the improvement. You can also add in food which is high in zinc, magnesium, potassium, or chloride. Slowly work on the nutrition and support the pathway. Always remember, you have to first remove the stressor, the bad stuff, then add in the good stuff. We have come to the end of this video. Hopefully the insights I've given you can help you see a complete picture by not going to different doctors for different symptoms and avoid all these medications. If you want to know more other health related myths, you may also want to check out my playlist over here.